Hi guys, Splatter Trigger here, and welcome to another recent video game pickups episode. To avoid any confusion, there was one that I put up about a month ago that was actually a re-upload from back in December of 2010. So everything that I'm going to be talking about and discussing that I've added to my video game collection has been since, I believe it was December 26th. And so it's hopefully I can bang this all out. I won't drone on too much, but if I do, maybe I'll break it up to be a two-parter so people don't get bored with me, talking for 18 or 20 minutes straight. So first off, I wanted to start off with a couple things, a little disorganized right now. But I wanted to first talk about, I received a couple of packages that I either purchased, traded with, or were given to me by a couple of YouTubers. So, first and foremost, and the first YouTuber I'll mention is a YouTuber by the name of mp4podcast.com, all one word. He attended the YouTube meetup that we did up in PAX, up in Boston, and he was kind enough to give me a Darkstalkers comic book and Halo comic book. So I thought that was pretty generous of him. Next up is YouTuber, his real name's Ryan Ernest. I believe his channel is, he doesn't do any videos, which is why it's it's IdioMeme, I think that's how you pronounce it. But let me lug this sucker up here. Contact me by a PM some time ago. He was thinning out his collection, and basically what these are the Final Fantasy X2 Hori Killer Bee or Twin Bee guns controllers for the PlayStation 2. These are an import controller. They're very nice collectible piece. I'm just showing you the box right now because, to be quite honestly, I want to do a full-blown episode dedicated to this collectible. It's a very unique piece to have, and I'm pretty excited that I got my hands on it, and I just want to once again thank Ryan. Now the next YouTuber that we've done a lot of trades in the past and a lot of packages back and forth to each other. Very good friend of mine on here, Steve. His channel is the number 28 Steve Ryan, and you'll see I've done a couple of videos dedicated to just packages and unboxings that he sent me. This time around, he sent me a glutton of stuff, is the best way to put it. Sackboy, Little Big Planet keychain. He's out in the UK, mind you, so the Dragon Quest 9 flyer, I think he picked this up at a show out there, and it's got a little bent up in the delivery and whatnot, but that's alright, I'm not too picky about it. Appreciate it. Oops. He also sent me a copy of Grandia 2 for the PC. Hope there's not too much glare there, guys. Book, the biggest PS2 cheats book ever. Which, there's so many PS2 games out there, I presume this would be much, much thicker, but I just kind of flipped through it so far, Gotta fire up my old North American PS2 again. Resident Evil Degeneration DVD. This is by one of my most favorite things that he sent me is a DVD of Retro Gaming Volume 1 about some of the older systems. Nice little history retrospective. For games, he sent me on the original Game Boy, Double Dragon, Spider-Man 2, Zoids, sorry, some of it's Japanese, because I think he got these at a trade show, and I think this is Legend of the Mystical Ninja, but I could be wrong because it's all in Japanese, and I haven't actually popped that one in, or this one, which is a Data East title. And finally, it's in the case, but Gremlins 2. He also sent me a nice little Nintendo DS sleeve, and by far the most personal thing that he sent, which I really appreciate, and I had to rip out of her hands, was a Teddy Town Street. It's a little storybook that he sent for my daughter. And yeah, Steve, she still won't let go of this thing. So you've got a big fan there, and I really, really appreciate this, and so does my daughter. Now, earlier I had mentioned, and as most of my subscribers and viewers know, that I actually attended PAX in Boston this year. And I did have a couple of pickups, so I'm not going to show you all the free swag I got, but some of the purchases that were made on my end. One was the PAX East Ultra Rare Okamiden plush. Now the thing with this is kind of, I guess anybody learned their lesson with the Serve Bob bobbleheads from the San Diego Comic-Con in 2010. Capcom obviously had some left over and they're selling these at their store, which may or may not have been sold out. There was a rumor that only 300 of these were made, and Sota, the company that I believe made them, is now actually going to full-blown produce like a slight variant of it. So at one point these things were going for about $200 a pop, but the prices have gone down a lot. But it's a really, really cute piece to have, and I actually have another one that it was a very the best way to say this is one very unselfish and humble move by Pete Dorr. I was looking to get 2 of these, and I did. But when I went to buy this, they only accepted cash, and I only had enough for 1. So I was going to run to the ATM, get some more cash, and come back. But like the 5th guy behind me in line got the last one, and this was like 10 minutes after PAX opened that morning. So in talking to Pete Dorr, he actually had an extra one, and I was actually looking for one for myself and one for my daughter. So he parted ways with the exact price. You know, he did a really, really nice gesture there. He could have held it off and sold it on eBay a week later for $200 some and whatnot, but I thought that was really, really nice of him. So I really appreciate it, Pete, and my daughter has still not yet ripped the tag off it. So like I said, she's learning. No, but she's having a lot of fun with it. So thank you very much. Now with the purchase of the Akamidan plush, they were giving out, this was actually a pre-order at GameStop as well. If you pre-ordered Akamidan, it's the stylus and like a wipe for this screen wipe. And next would be this Castle Crashers figure that a good friend of mine bought for me at PAX. Yeah, he rode up with me. And the funny thing is like, he asked me about it the other day, like, how, did you display it yet? And I said, no, it's still in the box. And he went, well, Joe, it's obviously still in the box, so you could roll your eyes at me if you're watching this. But yeah, I don't know why I left it in there. I haven't put it up on my shelf yet, but it's still here. But I really appreciate it. Continuing on here, so my last physical purchase at PAX was The Wizard of Oz Beyond the Yellow Brick Road. This is an XC Games port, and I'm a big fan of XC Games. It's an RPG that uses like this trackball with the stylus. It's kind of it's a quirky game. I haven't put too much time in with it yet, even though I got it a while back. Once again, I've been wanting to find this game in the wild, so I held off on buying it online or going like an auction site or something. And all my local shops have been sold out. They never get a copy in. So when I was up at PAX, looking at the 3 booths that were up there, I was specifically looking for this game. And once again, I'm at the booth. I'm there with Pete Dorr and Craig from TV and Lust. That's who it was. And we're looking through all the games, and I passed it. And as I'm looking through like the final stack of games, all of a sudden this game's put in front of me, and it's Pete. And he says, "Let me tell you a funny story about this game." He ordered it he goes, "I ordered it on eBay, and they shipped it to the wrong address." And I look at it, and I'm like, I wanted to rip the game out of his hand, I'm like, because I've been dying. I'm like, "Are you buying this?" And he goes, "Yeah." So I basically was like, "Listen, I've been looking for this forever, blah, 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 blah. Are you really going to buy it?" He just kind of, I'm joking a little bit here, but he was a good dude, I didn't have to, kind of had to wrestle it away from him a little bit, but he was like, "You know what, here, I'll solve my issue on, on eBay or whatever." And hopefully you did, buddy, but once again, I have to thank you again for letting go of the 1 copy that was at PAX so I could purchase it. But yeah, so I'm glad to have add this to my collection. And continuing on with the DS, the next game that I purchased is an RPG that everyone's talking about, but that's Radiant Historia. I actually have not had time to play this yet. This is the first printing with the soundtrack. I hear really great things, but due to time constraints right now, I have not had a chance to play it, basically. But I shall. Hopefully I can have a chunk of time put aside for nothing but good things about this.